Basement of La Penta. This is WICR.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. I'm your host with the most, Jersey Joe, and a quick little soccer segment to kind of round out the break. And I think it's very interesting because all the talk is right now fixated on Real Madrid and FC Barcelona. We know what's been happening. Right now, it's like the sky is falling for Real Madrid. I mean, they advance in the UEFA Champions League, but they lose their match 4-3, but they move on because of aggregate goals. And it's very interesting. It sets up such a good dynamic right now because just before that happened, they lose in La Liga. Barcelona moves into first place ahead of them by 1 point. El Clasico is on March 22nd, and the timing of this is incredible because Real Madrid is in a bad place right now. Barcelona is on fire. This is it. I mean, you've got to think this is the end of the line for Real Madrid. We saw comments from Neymar this week and I love this one, of saying that Barcelona's big three are better than Real Madrid's big three. And the big threes, for people who don't know, Real Madrid, it's Benzema, it's Gareth Bale, and it's Cristiano Ronaldo. And then for Barcelona, it's Neymar, it's Luis Suarez, and it's Lionel Messi, the best player in the world. And when you look at the three and you compare them, I'm with Neymar on this one. I mean, I think both sets are some of the best players in the world, probably the two of the best threes in the world. But when you look at the groups collectively, I think Barca's group is just far better. I mean, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, their style is different from Real Madrid, whereas I think they're much more willing to help each other out. The three of them really thrive, not just by scoring, but by making each other's games better, by their passing, by their vision on the pitch. And that's one thing about Barca that you think that you don't see with Real Madrid is everyone makes the game easier for one another. Suarez doesn't just have to score to beat you. We've seen for a long period this season, he's become a passer, creating magisterial opportunities for everyone else. I mean, doing things that just no one else in the world can do. Messi is Messi. We've seen it his whole career. He can beat you any way that is humanly possible. He creates opportunities that no one else can. He makes passes no one else can. And Neymar is falling into that same conversation. When you look at Real Madrid, now Cristiano Ronaldo is almost at the same level as Messi. They're the two best players in the world. With him, I have no problems. Now, Gareth Bale is the one that's difficult because he's been the Real Madrid faithful have called him out and have been very displeased with his play at many points this year, and I think rightfully so in many regards because you see the unselfishness from Barcelona, from Neymar, from Suarez, from Messi. They're a very unselfish group. They'll always, if it's possible, opt to another guy and create an opportunity. Gareth Bale has not done that. In a lot of spots, instead of passing to a teammate, Gareth Bale has tried to make a shot, which was much more difficult, but to get the glory, you would assume. And I think for a lot of people, that's a thorn, and they don't like it. And I understand because when you're paying somebody the amount that you are, like a Gareth Bale, you expect him to make the best play. And I think a lot of times he makes the best play for Gareth Bale, or the best possible play for Gareth Bale, instead of making what will be an easier play to score on. And Bale has heard the criticism, and I think he tried to address that, and he's definitely gotten better with it. But for a long stretches this season, that was the case. And Benzema, again, very good player, but I think he falls in that kind of same Gareth Bale line. He saved Real Madrid many times this season when they were in trouble. And again, in this game in the Champions League on Tuesday, he scored the goal to tie it up 3-3, but then we saw again Real Madrid conceded another goal and they ended up losing. But I think when you look at both sides, philosophically and just from a play style standpoint, they're different. I think Barca is much more open to passing and just kind of collective play, helping each other out. And Barca is a little more rogue. But again, two of the best clubs in the world. But FC Barcelona is playing extremely well right now, in first place in La Liga. Real Madrid is struggling. And right now, the count to El Clasico is huge. I mean, we see this weekend, both sides playing winnable games, but Barca is going to probably keep that 1-point lead over Real Madrid. I would find it very hard if Real Madrid doesn't respond this weekend. I mean, they're in a very tough spot. Jobs are in jeopardy. Everyone is calling each other out. It's a tumultuous time for Real Madrid right now. And right now, like I said before, this is the end of the line. They have to respond this weekend. If they don't, they are in huge trouble because Barcelona is going to continue with this momentum. They've showed this is their style. They had one hiccup after winning 11 games, and they got back on track with a win against Manchester City, and they look like they're going to continue on from here. But I think right now, Barcelona is in the zone, and that El Clasico Part 2 is it. That will determine the winner of La Liga. If Real Madrid doesn't come out with a win this weekend, that game already means even monumentally more, and if they lose, they legitimately are done. But I think right now that is going to determine La Liga. I do think, though, both clubs get wins this weekend, and Barcelona will go into that match in El Clasico Part 2 with the 1-point lead, and it will end it up, and it is great. I mean, it's been so much fun watching both sides right now, and I mean, from afar, it's interesting to see how these situations are playing out because Barcelona also had their moments this season with a lot of controversy with Luis Enrique and everyone else, but they definitely quieted that down. They're playing really well, extremely well right now, and Real Madrid is going through a rough patch of their own. But that is just going to wrap it up a little bit for this weekend in the soccer department. There is a lot more stuff. MLS this weekend, New York City FC's first home match. That's going to be a lot of fun seeing how they kind of bounce back. I mean, they conceded a very late goal in the 90th minute to Kaká. Instead of getting their first win, it was a draw. So it'll be interesting to see how they get David Villa in space because he did struggle whenever he had the ball. Orlando's defenders just collapsed around him, and I think it's because you don't have another big scoring threat on FC right now. So that is going to be something interesting to watch out for, but it's going to be a very good soccer weekend. The countdown to El Clasico, UEFA Champions League matches this weekend. You combine that with the NCAA tournament we have coming up, it is not a bad time to be a sports fan at all, but we'll be here during the week, so I'm not going anywhere. Everyone else is on spring break. I will be in studio breaking down the NCAA tournament, filling out the bracket with you, telling you everything you need to know. I have a feeling it's going to be a nice year for Kentucky. They're going to win it all. But that is going to do it, everyone. Thank you for staying tuned in today. A lot of good segments. Big Shot Rob, thank you for joining me earlier. That is going to do it, though, everyone. You have a wonderful weekend, and we'll be back in studio next week.